this team is, they've got a lot of different elements. They're, offensively, whether it's off the rush or, some of the hardness and playmaking that they have down low. They defend hard, and they're very competitive defensively, and they've gotten, goaltending that's at the top of the league, from day one. So there's a lot of competitive areas to this game. Like I said, every game's got a little different feel to it. This one's got a good competitive edge to it in a lot of different respects.
Let's talk a little bit about Kelly Youngberg's game and how that's progressed. Teams. I'm just wondering what you've seen from him. It's almost like two different seasons in a way. Yeah. At the beginning of the season, it was so hard for me to get going offensively, and he's been producing lately. Do you see it in his game?
Well, he had the challenge of going through COVID early on, and I believe, as you miss time early in the year and you're not feeling great, it's physically hard to catch up when you're doing it on the fly. And I would apply that to his first 4 to 6 weeks when he came back, just playing catch up, and that's a hard way to go into an NHL hockey game. What we've seen now the last 20 games, whatever it is just him being him. And he's a worker. He's really intelligent, and he's got a defensive DNA to him that he's always in the right spots. He's always above. He doesn't cheat to the offensive side. He works for offense. And that's probably the latest part of his game that we're starting to see come now is the offensive side, with some consistent production here over the last couple of weeks. So, we want to see that continue. We know that his work ethic and the defensive effort and the defensive side of his game is going to always be there. If he can continue to feel good offensively, that's a big thing for our team, and it will be tonight against his old team.
Going back to the week off you had, that week of practice, since then it feels like even the game you didn't win, you had a tough stretch right off.
Yeah.
But it feels like you're getting closer to the identity you wanted. We're at the halfway mark now. Do you feel like you have this team playing closer to the way you wanted to from day one?
Yeah, we feel like our purpose is there on a night to night basis, and there's still going to be ups and downs within that. And I know the St. Louis game didn't look good, but there's a lot of different elements that are kind of below the surface there that that challenged us, and we came up a little bit short. But we did have a purpose, and we've really had that over the last month. Whether the results have been there or not, there's for us to win, all the pieces have to be in place. Let's call it what it is. We own that, and we should be excited about that. Everybody in our room has to contribute on a nightly basis. They got to do their job, and they got to do it well. And when we do that, we have a real good opportunity to compete and win.
Hayden paid a pretty big compliment to Jay Leach, calling him the best head coach he's ever had. What can you share as far as the impact that Leach made for him and the rest of the team getting ready game by game?
Yeah, those are the things that nobody sees behind the scenes. The time, the effort, the relationships, and probably most important, the relationship, because that, nothing really happens without that trust being in place. So, you don't get that on day one. We're 4 or 5 months in now, and, that's when you start to see the fruition, that come to fruition, and the, the results that come with that. So, Leachy's all in with his guys. And I think, his players know and understand that, whether it's a hard conversation or a positive, easier conversation, it comes from the right spot. And that's what I alluded to earlier with Hayden, really digging in. You can take it one of two ways when you're out of the lineup. You can find a way to make yourself better that day, or you can make the decision not to. And Fleurs has made the decision to work closely with Jay, to build his game, to add to the detail of his game, and that takes a lot of studying on the part of Jay, and a great level of communication for him to be able to to help Fleurs in those areas. So I think it speaks very loudly and very highly of the job that he does.
Hey Dave, any game time decisions on lineups, or what we saw out at
what we had today in morning skate will be the lineup.
Any thoughts on him not being in lines?
Yeah, just he's going to be the guy that'll come out of the lineup tonight. you know, it's you know, we want Donnie to go back in the lineup. He came out. He had an opportunity to take a breath, and he's a big part of our group, and we want him back in there. So there's all kinds of things that go into decisions with our lineup. But one, we want Donskoy to be back in there tonight. And the flip side of that is, I look at other areas, and the job that Sheehan, Blackwell, and Kuhlman did together the other night was really good as a line. They did their job very well as a line. So, I started looking at the people that are doing things really well, and at the end of the day, the lineup decisions come down to difficult decisions, and this is the first time in quite a long time in terms of a stretch of games where we have some competition in that top 9, and Morgan Geekie will get back in. He's been a good player for us, and he'll get back in and get his opportunity when the time is right for our team.
Dave, when you have a situation like you had with Donskoy where you want him to kind of take that breath, is there a lot of conversation you have to have with him either before saying you're not going to play tonight or when he's coming back in, or is your message understood by him?
No, for me, it's an upfront conversation before anything's posted or anything like that. And it's different with every player, but you're not going to find a player that cares much more or is working and trying harder than Donnie is. So no, it's a brief upfront conversation, and then working towards coming back in, and he's back in today. Okay, thank you.